If you've developed sudden food sensitivities, digestive issues, skin rashes, sleep issues, and a whole wide variety of symptoms that you didn't have before that you can't explain, you might be dealing with leaky gut. Hi, my name is Nicole Cieslak. I'm a functional nutritional therapy practitioner specializing in digestive and hormonal issues. Be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay in the loop on new content. Today, we're going to be addressing leaky gut, specifically how to know if you have it. So, quick background. The medical term for leaky gut is intestinal permeability, and this simply means that the intestinal lining in your intestines has cracks or holes in it. And so what happens when this occurs is that food, liquid, nutrients, vitamins, minerals, even pathogens, toxins leave the gut where they're supposed to be contained and seep into the bloodstream. And so when that happens, this alerts your immune system to send for help, basically, and fight the good fight like it's supposed to. But it recognizes these substances as foreign invaders, even if they are not harmful to the body, such as food. But this immune response is activated, and it can lead to inflammation and a wide variety of issues, including some that I just named. As a holistic practitioner, most of my clients come to me with some degree of leaky gut, and this usually occurs for a combination of reasons. Usually it's chronic stress, constant wheat consumption, and then a poor diet that is high in refined carbohydrates, processed foods, lots of sugar, and low in essential nutrients, healthy fats, proteins, and all of your colorful vegetables. Additionally, a lot of people who have leaky gut also have had a history of a lot of antibiotic use, and that is one of the other big causes of leaky gut that people don't really know about. The biggest hurdle to overcoming leaky gut is, first and foremost, figuring out if you have it. So that's what we're going to get into right now. And so I'm going to talk about the 6 symptoms I look for, and then also at the end talk about some additional testing you can have done if you want really solid answers. So the first is chronic stress. This is a big one. So we are chronically stressed here in our modern world, and this is not good for our immune system. So when we are stressed, we activate our stress hormone cortisol, and cortisol activates our fight or flight mode, which we need when we are in a survival situation, such as running from a bear or fighting for our lives like our ancestors did. What's supposed to happen though is after that event occurs, cortisol comes down, your body rebalances, and everything goes back to normal. When you have chronic elevated stress, even if you're not aware of it, this keeps cortisol elevated for a very, very long time. And when cortisol is elevated, it shuts off non-essential functions in the body. One of those being digestion, because think about it, if you're running from a bear, you definitely do not need to worry about having to go to the bathroom during that time. And so the body knows this, it shuts off non-essential functions so that we can survive whatever is coming at us, and then they go back on. But so when digestion is turned off for an extended period of time, this means that food is sitting in the intestines to ferment and cause potentially bacterial overgrowth, dysbiosis, which basically just means an imbalance in the good and bad gut bacteria, and really paves the path for leaky gut. Number 2 is food sensitivities. So if you start to develop sudden sensitivity to foods that otherwise didn't bother you previously, it could be anything, spinach, almonds, kiwi, meat, anything, eggs, anything that you really didn't have an issue with before, but you're now suddenly reacting adversely to, is another good sign that you are struggling with leaky gut. And how you know if you are reacting adversely to a food, you have an increase in constipation, or you have to go immediately after consuming the food. And then also you just experience indigestion, heartburn, bloating, gas, belching within a few hours of eating that food. And so what happens is like I said, our gut barrier is supposed to keep food in the intestines where it belongs so that they can go through the proper elimination channels. When that is leaky, this food is going into the bloodstream and it's causing inflammation and our body to attack it as a foreign invader. And so we react poorly to when that happens because the body is trying to get it out because it doesn't recognize it as what it truly is. And one other thing about food sensitivities is wheat. So corn, wheat, soy, dairy are common food sensitivities, but studies have shown that gliadin, the active protein in wheat or gluten, is creating transient leaky gut, which means that the intestines will start to come apart, but then in the absence of gluten, they can seal back up and remain strong. If you are constantly eating gluten day in and day out and not giving your body a break, then you'll start to develop systemic leaky gut. Third symptom is skin issues. So your skin is an excellent reflection of your internal gut health. So if your gut is leaky, your skin is leaky. And so if you're dealing with things like psoriasis, eczema, keratosis pilaris, which is called chicken skin, it's little raised bumps or white bumps on the back of your arms or legs, or even if you just have an increase in acne, this could be because of leaky gut. Next up is nutrient deficiency. So you might not be able to know if you have a nutrient deficiency on your own, but if you do notice an increase in chronic fatigue, just general feelings of exhaustion, then you likely are not getting the proper minerals and vitamins that you need. And so what happens is those things are absorbed in our gastrointestinal tract. And so when they are leached into our blood, we're not able to absorb them or utilize them properly. And so it creates, again, that inflammation. We get really low energy, or we get brain fog, and we just don't feel our best. Another common symptom of leaky gut is bowel irregularity or slow changes in bowel habits. In the form of irritable bowel syndrome, which is a mix between diarrhea and constipation, or both. And so typically when the gut is leaky, it is it's disrupting that digestive process like I've discussed already. And so that can create bowel issues. And so when you get backed up, that's not a good thing because toxins are staying longer in the body. You're reabsorbing them. You can develop other health issues like hemorrhoids. And then, of course, if you're constantly going to the bathroom, you are dehydrated and you're not retaining minerals and nutrients anyway. And then lastly, mood disorders like anxiety and depression. So if you have a leaky gut, you also have a leaky brain because we know the gut and the brain are connected via the gut-brain axis. And so a lot of times when your body's in that constant inflamed state, your brain is inflamed. And so that means you have more anxiety, you have depression, memory issues, cognitive functioning. And so that can really impede your day-to-day. So with those 6 top signs of leaky gut, you can hopefully get yourself some answers. I will say that that's not an exhaustive list. People who do suffer from leaky gut have a wide variety of health issues like stomach ulcers, acid reflux, upper respiratory issues, infections, and things like that just keep recurring. And so those are other things to be on the lookout for as well. There are also some testing options. I like to use a stool test in my practice. I prefer the GI map to get a full view, comprehensive view of your bacterial profile to look at overgrowths or lack of good bacteria. And then you want to make sure you add on zonulin to that test if you order it, because that is going to be the protein marker for autoimmunity and immune response to leaky gut. If you do discover you have leaky gut, don't worry, it is reversible with diet, lifestyle, and some supplemental changes. And so we're not going to get into that in this video, perhaps a future topic, but if you did like this, be sure to leave us a comment letting us know what you liked, if you had any questions, or feel free to share future topic ideas. Alright, I'll see you in the next video. Stay healthy.